I just wanted to make a quick video to show you kind of some tips and drills on keeping that left arm out, keeping that arm inside the knee, and then keeping the hips level.
Yeah, that's so good!
The first thing I'll say is when you're working to keep your left arm out and like reaching out and keeping it inside that knee, part of doing that correctly is simply just actively reaching the arm out. So you want to take your arm and extend your shoulder as long as possible. That's something that you can just do. Now the difficult part is when you start spinning, that's easy to forget and that can pull back and away, but that's just something that you think of. The second thing is, again, keeping the elbow inside the knee is also part of that is just simply doing it. Like that's something that you can control. So your arm is out, you can control where that arm is. And again, when you start spinning, that's when it gets complicated, but part of it is just doing it. But there are a couple tips that I like to think about or whatever to help that. First is, so in most rings when you throw, you have a net that goes around the cage. Now obviously I'm here by a river and I don't have a net, but essentially if I was going to work on keeping my arm extended, when I'm in the ring, I literally want to feel like my hand, as I wind up and make this first turn out of here, I'm literally trying to scrape the net with my hand. So you wind up, and again, you're actively reaching it forward, trying to touch the net and scrape along the whole net. So what that's doing is taking your hand, taking your shoulder, and moving it out and around that whole ring. Another thing that helps with that is, so a lot of times when we are pulling with our left and our short out of the back of the ring, we're not getting our center of gravity over that left leg. And again, that's just a tip, a way to think that kind of help feel going around there. So what would be a drill you could use to work on that? So simply, I like to do drills that emulate positions or emulate feeling. And so if we're trying to keep the arm inside the left knee or keep it extended, my favorite drill is simply turns on a line. So that is exactly what it is. You just find a line, say you're in a gym floor or you're on a deck by a river or a line in concrete like in your garage. Simply you just kind of follow that line and you turn on it. So again, we're trying to copy the same position we would be in if we were throwing. So again, I'll just demonstrate it here. Turns on a line simply is this. Boom. Now I'm not going to do many more because I'm going to fall in the river. But what's going on here is the first turn. So if you're right-handed, you're going to turn out and around your left foot. Then you're going to turn behind your right foot. And you can see here what I'm practicing is turning on my feet, knees apart, and shoulders and torso in place and locked in. Again, I'm not trying to turn really fast. I'm working on keeping upright posture and strong, let my feet do the work. So that's a drill you can use on a daily basis to help learn the feeling of keeping the arm inside the knee. So again, all you're doing here is you get set up, you check, okay, is my elbow inside the knee? Good, now let's go. You can see during that drill, that stays in place. So that's a drill I do definitely if you're working on that feeling of the left arm and reaching that out. Now the next piece is, moving through the circle with level hips. And so again, keep in mind everything's connected. So if in the back of the circle you're pulling away, then you're very likely going to rise in the circle. Kind of like that. The concept I want you to understand is as we do the spin, we want to think of our hips as level and our shoulders as level. So if, like right now, shoulders are level, hips are level, in my head, I want to think level, level, all the way through the circle. So I turn out, I go forward, I turn, and I finish. Now there probably is a little bit of up and down with the hips and a little bit with the shoulders, but that's so easy to do. You got to think in your head, level, 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 level. So again, if take our hips for example, when we're moving through the circle, we want everything to be moving horizontally and not up and down, up and down. When we rise in the ring, okay, I'm throwing this direction. If you watch my right hip, it's gonna go up. So notice how it went up, like that. What we wanna do is have it be level. To here. Boom, boom, boom. And I'll go back to the turns on a line drill. That drill helps you practice the feeling of levelness. So in this turns on a line drill, in your check, your shoulders are level, arms in place, hips are level, and you just simply turn. So those are kind of couple tips for controlling your arm, getting it long, keeping it inside your knee, and keeping your hips level as you spin. Essentially those help you stay on balance, be on balance, and helps you move faster, have better positions. So hope this video was helpful. If it was, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next video.